happy to be here today. So Apollo Crypto is a crypto asset manager. We've been around for 6 years, and we're open to wholesale investors. We are a fundamental-based asset manager in this space. But I'm here not to talk about Apollo Crypto. I'll give a quick overview of the state of the crypto market today. So in 2022, I thought could be good with a little bit of recap in case you haven't been paying attention to the crypto markets. It's been going through a tough time the last couple of years. At the end of 2022, the biggest exchange in the space, FTX, went bankrupt. And in 2023, the US financial regulator came out, and not surprisingly, quite hard against the industry. They filed lawsuits against the biggest exchanges in this space, like Coinbase and Binance. I think the takeaway from that is that will take years to play out in the courts, and most likely we will have a new regulation in place before those lawsuits comes to a conclusion. The SEC also faced some setbacks last year. There was a lawsuit against Ripple XRP that went ongoing for a couple of years, and the judge in that lawsuit determined that XRP is not a security. That was a win for the crypto industry. Grayscale is a big Bitcoin trust in the US. They've been trying to convert that trust to an ETF for some time, and the SEC faced setback in that lawsuit as well, and the judge determined that they should be able to convert that trust to an ETF. ETF was a big theme last year in the crypto space. BlackRock, the biggest asset manager in the world with over $9 trillion in AUM, filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF in June last year, and that was a big step for the industry. Overall, I think the theme of last year was a recovery of the crypto market. Bitcoin and other crypto assets actually performed really well last year. I often get the question, what are the applications for crypto? What are the real-world applications of crypto? I think the application for Bitcoin is digital gold. But apart from that, there are a lot of other things that are being built on blockchain and crypto. At Apollo Crypto, we focused on the infrastructure, the things that is happening purely on-chain, things like layer 1 blockchains. There are things called layer 2 blockchains, decentralized finance, NFT infrastructure. That's sort of our focus for Apollo Crypto. But there are a lot of potential use cases that are building on top of that infrastructure. So I thought I mentioned a few of them today. One is something called real-world assets, bringing real-world assets on-chain. For example, there is a protocol called Maple that is doing that. There is another one called Backed. The biggest kind of collection of real-world assets on-chain today is something called stablecoins, which are US dollar pegged crypto assets. There are around $140 billion of stablecoins on-chain today. That kind of is a new rail for payments. There are also companies building social networks that are decentralized based on blockchain. There is one very popular that is getting some traction right now called Farcaster. If you're subscribed to the Apollo newsletter, we wrote about Farcaster this week, and we will hold an event around Farcaster at our Melbourne office later this week as well. Gaming is another category. Being able to own and hold digital assets that you can acquire in games. There are a lot of excitement around that. Gaming is globally a $250 billion industry, and there are some AAA titles coming out. So there's a potential real-world use case for crypto that a lot of people have high hopes over. Another one is called DePIN, which stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure. That's about being able to contribute resources like storage or Wi-Fi connectivity to a network and get compensated for that. And some of those DePIN applications are gaining a lot of traction right now. Another one is decentralized AI. So we heard from the previous presentation about some of the problems around AI. AI is very kind of centralized today, and crypto can kind of counteract that centralization in AI. We've seen the problems with Google AI and Gemini in the last week. So I think that's kind of make the case for decentralizing AI. We'll talk a bit more about the Bitcoin ETFs. We put out a research report in December last year around the coming Bitcoin spot ETFs. There were 9 new ETFs that got listed in the States in January of this year. And this is a game changer for the crypto industry. It's been in the works for 10 years. And finally, there's an easy way for investors to access crypto, for wealth managers to include crypto in portfolios. Because with the ETF structure, you don't have the issues with custody of crypto assets, holding private keys. It can be very complicated, and it's been really hard for a wealth manager and other advisors out there to include crypto in the portfolio. But with ETFs, it makes it very easy. So some of the largest investment banks and firms in the world are now standing behind these ETFs. BlackRock is the biggest one. I mentioned BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world. Others include Fidelity and Franklin Templeton. They're all listed Bitcoin ETFs in the last couple of months. And they have seen over $5 billion of inflow into these ETFs. It's the best, kind of most successful launch of new ETFs products ever in the last 20, 30 years. And in a report from December, we say that we could see $65 billion of inflow into these crypto ETFs. $65 billion would be 1% of the total US ETF market. And if that were to happen, we predict that Bitcoin could go to 200,000. So what lies ahead this year and the coming years in crypto? I think there are a few kind of important events going on in crypto. One is the Bitcoin halving, which is happening every 4 years, where the Bitcoin supply goes down. Currently, 900 new Bitcoins are minted every day. That will go down to 450 Bitcoins in April of this year, so it's less than 60 days away. Then there's talks about the Ethereum ETF as well. Ethereum is the second largest crypto asset out there. SEC will have to make a decision about an Ethereum ETF by May 24th of this year. So I expect the talks around that to really heat up in the coming weeks. Ethereum is interesting because you have all these different applications that are being built on top of Ethereum that I mentioned before in terms of gaming and real-world assets. And Ethereum is an asset with a shrinking supply. It's actually deflationary currently. And then if you look at the macro, Bitcoin and crypto has historically been very cyclical, and it's been tied to kind of larger financial cycles. And currently we are seeing a shift in the macro environment globally, where it's expected that central banks will start cutting interest rates this year. And I expect that to happen in the coming months. I think we're still waiting for that ChatGPT moment in crypto where one of these applications will really break through. Could be a new social application, could be a new AAA game that uses Bitcoin and NFTs or built on blockchains. So that could really well happen, I think, in the next 12 to 24 months. If you're more interested in what's happening with blockchain and crypto, you can check out our website, apollocrypto.com. We often put out research reports. There's one here we wrote about modular blockchain, which is a big narrative right now in crypto markets as well. And with that, thank you.